fulfill your destiny.
What was your expectation for the first episode? And then how did that episode meet or fail those expectations?
Expectation was too high. I really thought that they were gonna come out with a banger. Um, I guess Mandalorian kind of hyped it up too much, I guess. After seeing the last episode, I kind of expected like a higher caliber. I mean, like it wasn't a bad episode, but it was not like
Underwhelming.
Yeah, it was underwhelming. The only cool part was him coming out of the Snarlack pit.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the episode was kind of just blah, I guess is the right word for me to use. Just I wasn't really excited, and I know there's a lot of people online who didn't really feel excited about it. But I know this is just the beginning, so there's a lot for it to improve and has the potential to improve, but it's just the beginning. So I guess everyone just needs to calm down, including myself, to hopefully it just gets better. How about you?
For me, the part that was disappointing is the fact that like with the Mandalorian and the Bad Batch and then like the final season of Clone Wars, like we saw these, first episodes that just like came out with a swing. Like you think back to the first episode of The Mandalorian when they introduced Baby Yoda at the end of the episode, and I kept waiting for that moment. Like the first Boba Fett episode, I kept waiting for the Baby Yoda moment where it was going to be like some big person was introduced, and instead, we saw Fennec Shand, who we've seen a bunch, in a bunch of different platforms. And then it was like, oh, hey, it's the Tusken Raiders. But then even the Tusken Raiders, like nothing exciting. I mean, the storyline happened. And
Here's a cup of water.
Yeah. And I think they like brought up questions that they're going to explore as we go into the season. Like why does he keep going in that healing unit, and what's going to go on with the mayor or the governor or whatever. Yeah. And they brought those, but it wasn't enough for me to buy into it and be like, oh, I'm excited to see where the story goes. Because it didn't feel like it didn't hook me in, I guess. And maybe it's because I've always been a fan of Boba Fett, but I was never like one of those girls who was like, he's the best character in the whole series. Like
anyone that was born while the originals were being made.
Yeah. Like there are people who like really, really love him, and I'm like, he's cool, but like I thought this show was gonna get me to love him more, which it still might. But that first episode wasn't enough for me to be like. Yeah. Honestly, I was more hooked into Fennec Shand, but that's because I love Ning Na Wen. Like, I love her.
Yeah. No, I kind of think that a lot of if the first episode is going to tell us anything, there's going to be a ton of flashbacks. It's gonna do a mix of flashbacks and then coming back to reality and showing what Boba wants to do with his new power. Because of course we need to find out what happened to his armor. How did the sheriff of that town get it?
I mean, I think that was pretty easy. I think the Jawas took it. Like, I think that's as far as the storyline's gonna go.
But what are they gonna like reintroduce Mando into the flashback? Like, I feel like they're gonna build on these flashbacks a lot while he's in this medical like water tube tub thing. But then they're all of a sudden gonna like bring us back to reality, and I don't know. I hope they balance that correctly. That's what I really hope, is that they can balance it.
You know what else that I keep thinking about, and we said it while we were watching the episode originally, was how off the choreography of the fight scenes was.
Yeah, they
like when they were cornered in the marketplace.
Yeah, that was just weird.
It felt very slow. Mm-hmm. Like it was like.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but Boba Fett surrounded by shields, like, come on, that's an easy like. Oh, here's a rocket. Like, let me jetpack out of there. Like, well, did he have a jetpack? I don't know. But like, it's Boba Fett. He should have been able to like snap his fingers and gotten out of that situation.
And I guess for me it was confusing because with the healing tube and everything, they're kind of putting across the imagery that he's like injured or something happening to him. Yeah. But I feel like in The Mandalorian, when we saw him, we didn't see any of that. Remember, like when
he
they
was
were
just a badass.
When they were on the mountainside,
and he everything, just killed everyone.
You didn't see him struggling with his health, and then for all of a sudden, for him to be put in a fight next to Fennec Shand, and then them both struggle, it's like this doesn't balance. So there must be something that happens between the Mandalorian and Boba Fett. Yeah. Or they just forgot how to pace their story. Either way, I was not impressed with that fight, and I feel like, especially with two actors like that, like. both of them are both strong stunt actors.
Yeah, they know what
Yeah.
they've been doing it for a long time, so they know what to do. But
So I was disappointed with that, but
okay,
hopefully they turn that around.
yeah, it's, it's Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. I think they will. Okay, so final verdict. Out of 10, where do you place episode 1?
I'm a harsh critic. I feel like I'm not a fair critic. I would say 6.
Okay.
Because I think that they had a certain level of expectations that they didn't meet.
Yeah.
It wasn't awful, but I feel like as a Star Wars fan who has been waiting for this, I was let down.
Yeah, I can agree. I don't want to copy you, but
You can copy me. It's fine.
yeah, I want to do a 6 or like a 6.5. Like I definitely see where this can.
You're leaning out of the frame.
I know. I'm leaning back thinking.
Lean back this way.
I definitely think that there's potential in this show. I was just kind of disappointed, and honestly, I think everyone wanted to know, how did he survive the Snarlack, and they kind of answered that question right away.
I was underwhelmed by that.
Yeah,
it was almost like he was in the Sarlacc.
Snarlack.
Are you sure it's Snarlack? I'm pretty sure it's just Sarlacc.
Snarlack, same thing, whatever.
Sarlacc.
Big gooey thing with acid in its stomach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like they didn't put enough time in there, or like emotion almost, you know?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden there was like a stormtrooper, and then he like stole his oxygen. It was weird. It was too fast. Hopefully they go back into that.
Yeah.
I would have preferred if he had been telling the story to someone so we could have seen his emotions with it.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's what these flashbacks are.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, so expectations for the rest of the season. Where do you think we're going to go? What do you think we're going to see? After that first episode, are you still excited for the rest of the season?
I'm kind of not hot water, not cold water. Like,
Yeah.
I guess I'm going to watch it, but I guess I just don't know what to expect, because, I mean, my entire life, the expectation has been Boba's been dead. And so I haven't really been able to think of like where this could have gone.
Mm-hmm.
But now that it is happening, honestly, I think, of course, they're not going to bring Mando back because Mando has his own show. But like, I feel like it's almost necessary for maybe like a passing by or like some sort of recollection of Mando, because I think Mando's now. Yeah, he isn't a part of the gangster life, but like I feel like he almost has to be now,
life?
because he like worked with Boba Fett, like one of the biggest badasses that's ever like graced the galaxy. So I don't know, like I have high hopes, and honestly, it's probably going to be too high, but I think that it's, again, Dave Favreau,
Jon Favreau.
Jon Favreau, sorry,
Dave
Dave Filoni. I was got them mixed up there. Like they always do good work. Always do good work, and so I have faith that they'll bring it in the right direction, and especially looking at like the feedback of what the audience sees or what the audience wants. They're very in tune with that, so like hopefully that picks up, and I think it will, but fingers crossed. All right, now where do you think it's going, or what's your expectation going forward?
I really can't tell where they're going to be taking this story.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I can't tell if it's one of those things where they're going to try to piece together the originals with the sequels, and they're going to try to bridge that gap, or if it's going to be a much smaller, like, kind of catechism of the corner of the universe. You know, like they're just going to keep it small and
keep it the Tatooine itself.
Right, and it's going to be kind of still Western style, kind of like Mandalorian was, but it's going to tell like a different story. You know?
Yeah.
I'm hoping that if they do bring in cameos, the person I want to see the most on this show, and I know timeline-wise it may not work out, but I feel like it could if they work it really easy. I want to see Hondo Ohnaka make an appearance.
Oh, Hondo.
Oh.
Yeah.
How does he say it? Obi-Wan.
Yeah, Obi-Wan.
I want to see him make an appearance, and I know he's probably really old because he was really old in Rebels. But if you think about it, that was only 10 years before, Even if he just comes in like a wheelchair, I'd like to see him.
I mean, and he's also an alien, so you don't.
He's also an alien, so we don't know his time
Yeah,
span.
we don't know how long he could live, but that would actually be hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing that they do really well, Dave Filoni, is he's really good at tying in former characters.
Yeah.
I don't want to see like a baby Ray. You know what I mean? Like I don't want it to be too much crossing the line. I'd rather have kind of outskirting cameos.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like show me like a ship, like sorry. Show me a ship of a character that we know. And it doesn't even have to be like super important, but as long as it's something that like as a fan base we can like click and go, we know what that is. It means much more to just show that one instance.
Yeah.
You know, like if you had the Millennium Falcon in one single frame going by in the background, like everyone would gravitate towards that and go like, oh snap.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool.
Yeah.
So
agreed. Or even if we saw like I don't know. What was the name of the lady in The Mandalorian season 2 who kept like holding Grogu and being like, he's so cute. The one in the Jugger shop.
Yeah, she's on Tatooine.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun to see her or like I'm not sure
with the droids and
I think one of the predictions.
The babysitter.
Yeah, the babysitter. One of the predictions I have for this season is that I can't remember if it's the mayor or the governor.
I think it's I
think it's the mayor.
The governor's
Anyway.
in Walking Dead, but
I feel like he's gonna be the big bad of the season.
big bad.
Yeah, like he's gonna be the bad guy that Boba Fett has to fight against.
Because he knows he has his armor.
No, not the Western guy from The Mandalorian. Remember at the beginning of the Boba Fett episode, the Twilight came in and was like, "I'm here on behalf of the mayor."
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about? I feel like the
completely
mayor or even the assistant. I can't remember what either of their names are.
I completely forgot that even happened. That's how much I cared about
He's
it.
gonna be the big bad, but I feel like they're gonna try to do some weird twist with it, and I can't even predict where it's gonna
Fun fact: it's actually Hondo.
Oh my god!
Calling it now.
I would lose
Jot
my
it down
mind.
right here.
I really would.
Okay.
So
yeah, I hope it will be good. We just got to be patient.
yeah.
And things will turn out.
So now we watch episode 2, live react, and then discuss afterwards if our expectations for the seasons have changed and if our overall rating for the series so far has changed.
Yeah, we'll keep up to date.